So what if I told you we're thinking about aging all wrong? Dr. Peter Attia's book, Outlive, makes a really powerful case that we are. He introduces this radical new way of looking at our health, one that shifts our focus from just, living longer to living better for longer. So let's dive into this new way of thinking, starting with this powerful metaphor that really gets to the heart of the problem. Dr. Attia starts his book with a recurring nightmare he had when he was a surgical resident. Picture this. He's standing on a sidewalk, and he's just desperately trying to catch eggs as they fall from a building. But no matter how fast he is, he just can't catch them all. They smash on the ground, and he's left feeling totally helpless. Now, this isn't just some random stress dream. It's actually a symbol for a much, much bigger problem. You see, that dream is a perfect metaphor for what he calls Medicine 2.0, which is basically our current medical system. Think about it. It's almost completely reactive. We are absolute experts at catching the eggs, patching people up with drugs and surgeries after they're already sick. But we spend almost no time going upstream to find the person who's throwing the eggs in the first place. To really get this, we have to look at how we die. Attia breaks it down into two main categories. On one hand, you have fast death, things like accidents, trauma, infections. And modern medicine, it's incredible at handling these. But the reality for most of us is that we're going to face a slow death, a gradual, decade-long decline from chronic disease. And this slow decline, it's driven by what he calls the four horsemen. These are the four major groups of chronic diseases. You've got heart disease, cancer, neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, and metabolic dysfunction, which includes type 2 diabetes. These are the modern plagues that our current system, Medicine 2.0, is just fundamentally not set up to prevent. So, if we want any chance of defeating these horsemen, we have to completely redefine our goal. The objective isn't just to add more years to our life. That's just a longer lifespan. It's about adding more life to our years, a longer health span. And health span isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about the quality of your years. It's about you having the physical ability, the cognitive sharpness, and the emotional well-being to do the things you love, whether you're 40 or 60 or even 80. It's really the difference between merely being alive and truly living. Okay, this graph right here shows us the choice we have. That lower curve, that's the default path in Medicine 2.0. We hit midlife and we just begin this long, slow decline, kind of stretching out our final low-functioning years. But that top curve, that's Medicine 3.0. Here, we maintain a super high level of physical and cognitive function for much, much longer, and it's followed by a really short period of decline at the very end. The whole goal is to square the curve. Attia frames this as a choice between two very different futures. Do we just accept the marginal decade, that final chapter of our lives that's defined by limitations and all the things we can't do anymore? Or do we fight for a bonus decade, an extra 10 years of thriving, of activity, of purpose, of being able to lift your grandkids and go hike that mountain? So how do we get that bonus decade? Well, Attia argues that we need a fundamental upgrade to our medical thinking. We need a whole new operating system for our health. He calls it Medicine 3.0. So here's how the evolution of medicine kind of looks. Medicine 1.0 was basically ancient guesswork, based on observation. Medicine 2.0 is our current era. It uses science, which is great, but it's reactive. It waits for you to get sick. Medicine 3.0 is the critical next step. It's a proactive, personalized approach that's all about preventing disease before it even gets a chance to start. Its core philosophy is a total 180 from the old way. It prioritizes prevention way over late-stage treatment. It treats you as a unique individual, not just some statistic. And most importantly, it shifts the entire focus from simply adding years to your life to maximizing the quality of those years, your health span. Okay, so we've got our new goal, and we've got a new framework. But before we just jump into what to do, we have to understand how to think about it. And this is all about the difference between strategy and tactics. This quote from Sun Tzu is absolutely key. If you just chase tactics, a new diet, a trendy workout, the latest supplement, without some big picture strategy, you're just making noise before defeat. You'll be on this merry-go-round of fads that really doesn't lead anywhere. Attia uses a perfect analogy for this, the famous rumble in the jungle. Muhammad Ali was going up against George Foreman, a younger, stronger, and what seemed like an invincible opponent. Literally everyone counted Ali out. He knew that just trading punches, the obvious tactic, would get him knocked out fast. He needed a strategy. So look at his framework. The objective? Crystal clear, win the title. The strategy? wasn't to out-punch Foreman, it was to exploit his weaknesses, his anger, and his really poor stamina. And the tactic that came from that strategy was the famous rope-a-dope. Ali just let Foreman wear himself out on the ropes, and it worked perfectly. And this is the exact same framework that we have to apply to our own health. Our objective? The bonus decade. Our strategy? To delay or prevent the 4 horsemen. And our tactics? Things like exercise, nutrition, sleep, emotional health. Those are the tools we use to execute that strategy. They're no longer just random choices, they become purposeful actions. And this ultimately requires a really radical shift in our mindset. In that old model of Medicine 2.0, you're basically a passive passenger, just waiting for a doctor to fix you when you break. But in Medicine 3.0, you are the captain of your own ship. You have the agency, and you have the responsibility to be informed, to be engaged, and to be in control of your own health journey. And that really leaves us with a final and pretty powerful question. If your health is your ship, and it's navigating the long journey of your life, who's at the helm? Is it you, or are you just letting the currents of conventional wisdom decide your course? The choice is yours.